Good morning and welcome to another market review session with Coach Ray, the market trader. Wanted to go ahead and start with the risk disclosure. So again, just wanted to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as an investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Testimonials appearing on the company's website may not be representative of other clients or customers. This is not a guarantee of future performance or success. Use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, wanted to go ahead and just take a peek here at the news. We all know that we have kind of an abbreviated session. This is kind of like holiday trading here. So we have to take that into account. The markets are not open for the entire session, only open for half of it. So something to keep in mind. Okay. So as we look at the news here, we see that we really only have Fed members speaking today. We have Fed member Harker, Fed member Bowman, and Fed member Waller speaking. Now, one that's not listed here that moves markets is our fearless president. Okay. Unfortunately, he does not announce when he announces or when he decides that he wants to tweet. So that in and of itself, also has the opportunity to move markets. Okay. So unfortunately, we have no way of knowing when that will happen. So that's something we have to be always at guard with. Okay. So now that we've gotten through the news here, there's one last thing actually I need to do here. All right. Now that we've gotten through the news here, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the markets. Okay. Let's click over here. This close. And we're going to go ahead and stop share here for a moment and open up our portal. Okay. And we're going to start with the market that we normally start with, and that's the gold market. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start off with the daily chart. Okay. Looking at the daily chart here, and we can see that, we continue to be on a relatively strong run here. Just kind of doing some analysis here around this in preparation for this. So I see that we are at a level. Okay. Well, let's start by saying that we continue to be in this kind of bullish market. Okay. We did have a rather strong bearish engulfing candle here at the close of last week. Okay. And now we've are in the midst of developing somewhat of a bullish candle here on this market against an area that I can see here on the daily as support. Okay, so I've kind of marked this as kind of a minor level of support here around 2,900. Okay, and then I have another area here down below here at 2,800. So I see these two areas as supportive areas. Okay. If for some reason we do not manage to hold let's say 28.75, okay, which is the low end of this little consolidation range, then I can see that a reasonable chance of getting back down to 2800, okay. But assuming that we hold here around 2900, that could be the impetus here for another leg higher, okay. um, Area that we need to pay particular attention to is around this 2970 level. Okay, we have not been able to breach that level now after a couple of attempts. We made attempt here, met with sellers, made another attempt here, and that was made even with even stronger sellers. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Some rather strong sellers stepped in at that moment in time. All right. So looking at the 4-hour chart, as we move to the 4-hour chart, again, we're not this 2900 level is coming into focus here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can turn off my initial balance range for now. Okay. And just kind of focus in on what the candle formation is telling me. Okay. So we had a series of candles, actually two major candles here that kind of defined this bearish swing that we've had here of late on the tail end on Friday. Okay, we kind of reached all-time highs, got back to that same level, and that was met with some sellers. Okay, now we're down at this level of again demand level. Okay, why am I calling this a demand level? Well, this is the last area where we've broken some consolidation. Okay. So right around here at 2,900. Okay. Just going to maybe draw this up a little bit closer here. Okay. 2,900 was the last area that we broke consolidation. Now we're back to that, where we came back to this level and reacted away from it. We came down, relatively strong. Okay. And now so far, it's been reactive, okay, to the upside. Now the question is, will it remain reactive? Now we have a developing bearish engulfing, or at least certainly bearish, not quite engulfing, I would say, but working on it. Candle that's developing right above VWAP. Okay, on a, if again, looking at just this level, looking just at this. Okay. Um, just looking at this level, certainly it's not out of the realm of expectation that maybe we have another leg lower. Okay, right? Not out of the realm of possibilities here. Okay, but we do understand that the greater context of this market is, I guess of late maybe a little bit more range than a bullish. Right? We have yet to make a significant higher high here. Okay, of late. All right. And we've kind of maybe moved into a little bit of bearish control here to some degree. Okay. Um, Joe, I think it's still valid. Okay. But we understand that the participants that are creating these initial balance range are probably obviously not the same, right? Um, so yeah, while it is valid, we do understand that it is holiday trade. So I think the range trading is probably the mode today, unless some sort of news event happens that could cause markets to move. But yes, the expectation that we have less market participants in the market to move markets, and that in and of itself causes kind of more range price action. And then also the understanding that maybe these moves are going to be less sustained in any one direction. Okay. So Joe, I would say that it's still valid, but that the market participation is probably not going to be as high as we expect, and we should plan accordingly that information in our trades. Right, less likely to sustain in a particular trend. Okay, just because of the lack of market participants. Okay, all right. So kind of finishing up my review here of the 4-hour, we see that we have a kind of developing bearish, close to a bearish engulfing candle here. So we've had one reversal area, one reversal from this area. We've come back down to this area, and the response has not been overly impressive. Okay. We haven't managed to get anywhere close to the highs before sellers have started to step into this market. Okay. So again, if we do manage to get below this area, I think the area I'm kind of looking at initially is let's say 2890. Okay, then yeah, there's a possibility that we could explore maybe some of these levels below us. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. We've been kind of hovering above this hovering above VWAP, but more, again, the dominant swing here of late has been bearish. Okay, and while we've managed to get above VWAP, really haven't been able to make any sort of new high. Okay, here around, we certainly haven't been able to get above 2920. Okay, so with that said, kind of the feel as we head into the the market's already is open on the gold, but as we head into the open in the New York session, the expectation is that maybe we continue drifting lower here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP here on the pivot for Friday. Okay, we made here right around this time, 2:30 in the morning here Friday. So you can see here that we remain below. If I go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP for London really didn't offer us much of anything, so we have, again, a lot of indicators here that maybe there is more downside opportunities in this market. Okay, now if we do manage to close close above some of these, right? If we do manage to close above, then maybe this little swing here is maybe corrective in nature, and maybe offering maybe the beginnings of an impulse move to the upside. Okay, but we need to get above 2920 in order for that to take place, in order to demonstrate to the market participants that there are bulls in the market right now. It feels like maybe this is a corrective wave, but maybe a bit more on the bearish side. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. I suspect that price is below it, but from Friday. Okay. So let's go ahead and locate that here. So this is the start, and then this is the close here. So you can see that. Actually, I was a little surprised by that because I thought maybe we might be below it. Okay. So we've this. Okay. All right. So price is right smack in the middle of value, right? So that leading into the session, that leads me to believe that maybe we're going to be in a kind of range kind of price day. Okay, a day with range kind of price action. Okay, a balanced price action. Okay, so we did come down to this value area low. We reacted. Okay, away from it. Okay, value area low. And basically we're kind of hovering around this point of control area. Okay, so point of control again is another kind of an area where we've have the highest amount of volume traded. Okay, this 29089. Okay, so we're going to draw this as a solid line here. Okay, there's our point of control, and we're right on top of it. Okay, so again, go ahead and let's see what else that I want to add here. Oh, let's open up initial balance. It looks like the initial balance range is relatively narrow, but let's go ahead and open it nonetheless. So we have a very narrow initial balance range. Okay, so far, and we're about 30 minutes into the session here. Okay, so we need some sort of spark, something to kind of cause price to move here. Yeah, let's open up ADR high. So yeah, we reacted off of ADR high. Okay. So again, this is again another area where we normally see reversals in price. Okay, and then the last thing that we're going to add here is ASR, and we'll add it not for New York, but the most recent session, London. Okay, and you can see here that we're in the middle of that range. Okay, so right now I would have to say going into the open of the New York session here, that I'm going to look potentially for maybe some short trades in this market. If I do see an extension of initial balance a close, we get an extension of initial balance close, that maybe we have an opportunity to get down to this level here at 28.97. Okay, this area of consolidation on the left hand side, maybe as low as 28.92. That's kind of the thought process that I have at the moment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my price levels to this chart, and then we'll move on to crude oil. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add these levels here and place them here. Okay, these are our levels that I'm tracking in this market. Okay. Okay, so we have our levels. Again, we are inside initial balance. We have a relatively narrow initial balance range. Nothing really. A lot of indecision. A lot of nothing price action at the moment. Okay, they seem very very much content to hang out in this area here. Okay, so again, I'm going to be waiting for see if we can get an initial balance extension to the downside, and maybe that opens up an opportunity for me to take a trade down to ASR low. Okay. Otherwise, on the bullish side, I'm probably going to be demanding a little bit more and maybe get a break above 29.16, and a half here to really entertain, and maybe as above this ADR high, really, to really entertain a long that could take me up to 29.31 on the ASR high side. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the gold market. Again, kind of be patient here to see what price does in this initial balance range. If it's unable to get outside this relatively narrow initial balance range, there's really nothing to do here as far as a trade execution. Okay, we need to see some sort of initiative price movement in one direction, either to the downside or to the upside. The only thing, like I said, that kind of is still holding out some hope here for the bulls is the fact that we're above VWAP. Okay, we're above our daily VWAP, but everything else that I'm seeing so far is kind of indicating that maybe we are headed for maybe another leg lower before we turn higher here. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and move into the crude oil market. Okay. We'll take a look at the crude oil market again. We're going to go ahead and start off with the daily chart here. We'll go ahead and remove some of my indicators, drawings here. We'll take a look at the daily, all right, and see what the daily has to say. Okay, looks like we're also getting an open here of the crude oil. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. Okay, we'll keep our ADR levels there. VWAP, ADR, we'll keep. Okay, so here we are again. Similar to, not similar, I guess similar in the sense that we are looking a bit bearish on the crude oil market. We are coming into an area of demand or support here that could, offer us maybe some reaction. Okay. Looks like we are in the beginning stages of maybe developing a little bit of a double bottom here. Got this bottom and then maybe potentially this bottom if we happen to get above 71.60. Okay, so we're maybe in the beginning stages of maybe a double bottom that could lead us to maybe some price movement to the upside. Looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart here, this double bottom notion that I've shared with you is started to give us some indication here, right? We came down to this demand zone. We reacted away from it, came back down to that same level, and looks like there are buyers around this 70 level. Okay, 70 level. Okay, Now, we have yet to make really any significant highs here. We need to see price get above, say, 71.65 before we can say that with that maybe this move that I'm potentially expecting here could carry us maybe back to 73 and a half. Okay. But the line in the sand that I would say that is keeping us from that is probably that level right there, 71.60. Okay. So if we are unable to get above this 71.60 level, then I would say that that the bears are probably going to drive this further to the downside. Okay. If we do manage to get above 71.60, then maybe we have the potential of getting back up to the highs of Tuesday of last week. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. Again, we have that little demand zone that I've drawn out. I'm going to go ahead and remove it because it's a little bit on the wide side. So I'm going to go ahead and refine this demand zone. Okay. To kind of match up what we're seeing as far as price action here. Okay. So what's matching up with price action is the fact that we have not been able to make any inroads into this 70.48 level. Okay. So we've reacted, okay, away. We've come back down to 70.48, met with some more buyers, come back down to the same 70.48, 70.50 level, and we've reacted away from it again. So the fact that we are now above this not anchored, but daily VWAP, that could lead us to maybe a move up to ASR high. Okay. Right. That's what I'm seeing right now in this market. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my fixed range volume profile from Friday. I'm going to start with the 9 o'clock candle and move that across to the 4:30 candle. And there you have it. We are technically inside. Okay. We came down to just past value area low here. I'm going to go ahead and extend that line. Okay. We just passed at value area low. Okay. And now we're above our daily VWAP. Okay. All indicating that maybe there is some further upside opportunities in this market. Okay. I'm going to see if I can locate. Okay. So this is the start of London. All right. So we're starting to challenge maybe that we might get above this anchored VWAP from London. Again, that could also spell opportunity for us to the upside in this market. I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance here. Okay. We have, again, another relatively narrow range that's being developed in this market, similar to what we were seeing in the gold. Okay. And that could just be a function of the day that we're in, right? We're kind of in, I would say, holiday trading, right? The number of market participants that we are kind of banking on to kind of help us drive markets in one direction are not available. Okay. They're probably kind of at their vacation homes or what have you. So we have to, I guess, bake that into the equation here a little bit, that maybe these moves are not going to be as sustained or as powerful as that we are maybe accustomed to see. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add my price reference levels here to this market that I'm going to be tracking. Okay. So put these up here on the right-hand side of the charts. So these are the levels that I'm tracking in this market. Okay. Kind of shift this over here to the left a little bit. Okay. So these are the levels that I'm tracking. We have our average session range high, which I need to adjust here, I think. Yeah. To 71.42. Okay. This is our 71.42 is our average session range, high. Average session range low is 69.99. We'll just call that 70. Okay. So again, and we're kind of in the middle of the range here. Okay. So right now we're starting to see some price action that could indicate maybe that we are headed to the upside in this market. Okay. If we do manage to close this candle to close above and then ultimately close, maybe get a close above initial balance, I don't see any reason why we can't get back up to 71.42 in this market. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. Let's move on to the equity markets. But before I do, just would encourage folks, to if what you've heard so far resonates or has supported you in your analysis of the markets. Don't be afraid to hit the likes. Okay, the likes and the subscribes and the comments around is kind of the lifeblood for content providers such as myself. Okay, and keeps me motivated to come and provide this content for you on a daily basis. Okay, so I encourage you to if consider maybe hitting the like button here or two. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and move on to the Nasdaq. Okay, and again, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the daily chart. Looks like we got a little bit of a gap open. Okay, for the day here, into new territory. Okay, not quite new territory because we've reached 22,400, but a gap up nonetheless. Okay, so this could lead to maybe further upside, price movement in this market. It just happens to be in a day where we don't have necessarily the market participants to necessarily make that happen. Okay. But nonetheless, we're starting to break above. Okay. I think I've drawn this for you guys in the past, but we're starting to break above this kind of channel. Okay. To the upside. Okay. We've broken it and we haven't even, have not really looked back ever since we've broken that level. Okay. Now, obviously, we have new highs here at 22,420. Okay, but volume still seems to be favoring the bulls. Okay, overall. All right. Looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart again. We're going to go ahead and remove this channel here, where we continue to make series of higher highs and higher lows in this market. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment because initial balance is not in the card just yet. Markets have not yet opened. Okay, so you can see here that we've broken some recent highs, and ever since then we've kind of made these series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so in other words, it appears that we continue to be in somewhat of a bullish market here. Okay, right. So we've broken some levels here, 22,060. We came back and retested it, and that found some more buyers. So here we are again. Okay, up at these near the all-time highs. Okay, in this market, but nonetheless, it appears to continue to be bullish. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and draw in my fixed range volume profile here. I'm going to locate the 9:30 candle from Friday Eastern, and over here close of Eastern. Okay, you can see that price is above value from Friday. Okay, indicating that there is a fair amount of interest to the upside in this market. Right, if this is considered value and we're above value, well, people are willing to pay a little bit of a premium. Okay, because the expectation is that that there might be a continued opportunities to the upside. Okay, currently we have price above VWAP. Okay, another indication that the market is somewhat bullish. Okay, we had some reaction away from this average session range from Friday. Okay, now we created a new range with London to the upside. So we have a upside target of 22,371.50. Okay. If I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP here for the start of London here. Okay. You can see that price is above our anchored VWAP as well. Okay. All indicators so far indicating that we are going is for further upside in this market. Okay. Now the interesting level that I think everybody is going to be interested in seeing is are we going to be able to get above this this high that was established, I guess, at the start of the trading session here at 22,000, say, I don't know, 280, somewhere in that range. Okay. Are we going to be able to get above that? Okay, because we have had some reaction away. All right. But we have been up ever since. Okay, so looking at this candle, see set of candles here. Okay, it looks like we created a little bit of a demand zone here. Okay, there's a little demand zone around let's see. Yeah, 245 to 250. Yeah, let's call it 245 or somewhere in that range. Okay, so we created a little bit of a demand zone here. Okay, kind of a little bit of a, I see a little bit of a wedge pattern that's being kind of consolidation pattern that's being developed here as well. Okay, so this little wedge pattern is going to cause something. It's going to cause some directional move. I just don't know when. Okay, could be to the upside. It could be to the downside. But I know that the magnitude of that move is going to be somewhere in the order of this. Okay, that's the magnitude of the move. It could either be back down this way or it could be above. Now, right now, based on the price movement I'm seeing right now, if it feels to me that it's going to be possibly to the upside. Okay, based on what I'm seeing here. Okay, so we had a little swing, a pullback, kind of an extended, maybe wave here, and now this appears to be a little bit corrected, maybe for the final leg up. Okay, maybe a 5-wave pattern here. Just kind of maybe a little cursory kind of wave analysis here that I'm doing. Okay, this appears to be kind of maybe a potential wave 4. Okay, of a 5-wave move up. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Nasdaq. We're gonna go ahead and add my levels here. Okay, to this chart here. So we'll go ahead and add that here. Okay, we'll just add that here. Okay, so these are the levels that we're tracking in this market. Might need to adjust my average session range to accommodate London. I do. So we're going to go ahead and move this to 371, 371.50. And then on the bottom end, we have 22,092. Okay, so we'll change that as well. 22,092. 92. Okay, so these are kind of the ranges that I'm tracking and following in this market. Okay, right now it feels like I'm gonna, again, I'm gonna be waiting for my initial balance range to establish. Okay, and see maybe if I do get an extension in one direction. Okay, possibly that could lead to maybe some price movement to the upside. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in this market. I think right now we seem to be in some sort of consolidation range and an otherwise up move. Okay. And we've already gotten a little bit of a reaction away from this average session range. If we do manage to get above, say, I don't know, 22,275, then that could lead to maybe a leg higher. Okay. In this market. All right. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Now, if we are unable to get above, obviously that could that could lead to maybe to a little bit of a pullback. Okay. Certainly would be super interested in this value area high level here down at 22,176. We are again above both our anchored and daily VWAPs. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of initial balance range we end up receiving, okay, in the next 15 minutes. But for now, it appears that we are in a little bit of consolidation, maybe another leg higher, okay. But you could probably make a case for a move lower as well, okay. So this is going to be kind of my little lines in the sand here. Do we break above this? Do we break above this triangle pattern? Do we break below this triangle pattern? And then I will use this information and plan my trades accordingly. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the ES, second to last market that we'll be taking a look at today. Okay. Again, we'll start off with the daily chart, kind of get an indication of what the market is trying to accomplish. And again, market of late, okay, is certainly trying to continue to the upside. Okay. We are seeing a series of candles here. We broke it again. Just going to draw a singular line here. We've broken some structure here to the upside here. Okay, you can see that we've broken it to the upside. All right, and now we're again challenging new highs here. Okay, moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, we've been kind of in this range of consolidation and overnight trading. Price still remains above our VWAP. I was going to say anchor VWAP, but that hasn't been drawn yet. Okay, we're kind of in the middle of the range, average daily range. I'm going to go ahead and move to the 30-minute chart and draw in my fixed range volume profile, get a sense for where price is in relation to the last session's value range. Okay. So we'll go ahead and open that up here. Okay. Starting with this candle here, dragging that to that candle there. So you can see here, going to stretch this out here a little bit. We left, we came back to test the upper end of that value area range. Okay. That was rejected. Okay. So we've gotten price to reverse away from it here. Okay. And now we seem to be intent on maybe making or reaching some of these highs that I've established here. Okay. Right now we're challenging the 6146, which was the most recent high as of the start of the day. Okay. So we'll have to wait and see if price does manage to close above. That could lead to maybe some price action, or if not, then maybe we get another maybe smaller leg down to 6145 before we see that movement. Okay, to the upside. So we have like an ascending triangle here that I'm seeing here. Okay, so this is oops, that's not what I wanted. This is kind of what I was hinting, right? Kind of a little ascending wedge here, right? This is kind of what I'm seeing, right? In the not an X, but okay. This is kind of what I'm seeing as far as kind of a pattern. Okay. All right. So we're about 10 minutes away from the open of the session here. So we'll have to see, okay, what the initial balance has in store for us here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up, or actually share some of the levels that I'm tracking in this market. Okay. And maybe add another here. So this is the levels that I'm tracking in this market. There's a kind of a 4-hour range that I need to, actually 4-hour average session range low that I need to add to this. Okay. So we have 6113. Okay. So 6113 is our average session range low. Okay. So that's kind of the range there. We have our value area high that we've already reacted away from. Okay. So the question now becomes, is this going to be the candle that's going to cause price to continue to the upside? Or is this, are we again kind of maybe potentially using this as kind of an area of resistance? Okay, this prior high, and maybe we get another maybe swing or leg to the downside here. Okay, let's maybe draw with an arrow. I think would be preferred. Okay, something along those lines, like this. Okay, and maybe we hang out. Maybe we hang out in this range for the rest of the day. That's certainly a possibility. Okay, so so that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I think right now I'm going to be waiting for the initial balance range to establish in this market. If I'm a buyer, I'd like to be closer to VWAP. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP for the start of London's, which is right about here. Okay. Maybe this anchor VWAP or this daily VWAP will offer me maybe an area for maybe to participate in some sort of execution. Okay. To the upside. Otherwise, if we start to break some of these levels to the downside and maybe close back inside value, we could potentially get a rotation through value. Okay. That's certainly possible. Okay. Not out of the question. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the ES. We'll close this session with a review of the Dow. Okay. I do have some Dow traders. Okay. So we'll take a peek at the Dow. We'll start off with the daily chart. Okay. So the Dow is, I would say, not as far along in this kind of bullish view. It's kind of still kind of stuck in this consolidation range that we were talking about in the other markets. The only thing that's different in the other markets is that the other markets have exceeded this consolidation range. Okay, we've started to see price exceed it. Okay, So the Dow, in this case, we're still very much inside the range in an otherwise upside up move. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, similar kind of view here. We're going to go ahead and remove this here. Okay. So we've exceeded, kind of broken some structure to the upside. I've come back, and looks like this area has now become supportive right around 44 670. Okay. If we are going to continue this bullish structure or developing bullish structure, we need price to get above 44,872. Okay. In order to continue to maintain this kind of bullish posture. Again, I'm just kind of relying on some of the recent kind of price action that we've seen of late. Okay. We're starting to see some higher highs and higher lows, but now we've reacted away from this area that used to be resistant. So we need to see if we can get price above, and that could maybe generate another leg higher in this market. All right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Again, this is kind of where we're going to do our little bit of volume analysis. We see that price is above our VWAP. We're going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP for London. Here is right about this range. We can see that price is above our London as well. Okay, indicating that we're bullish on that front as well. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here for Friday here, and we're going to use this all the way to the close here, and you can see that price is inside value. Okay. So we did manage to break inside of it. Okay. So there's a possibility that we rotate through the entire range here. Now we're right around point of control. We broke below, okay, Friday, we broke below this level. And now we managed to, for the start of Monday, start of the London session, we managed to get back inside of it. Okay. So the fact that we're back inside of value opens up the door for maybe a full rotation. Okay. Full rotation of price through this value range. Okay. That does open the door for that. Now, it's certainly also possible that that we could maybe make, we're at this point of control. Okay, we're starting to see maybe a little bit of resistance around this point of control. This point of control could also lead to maybe a move along these kind of lines as well. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what else. We're about 6 minutes away from the open of the session. We have our average session range here above at 44,826. Average session range low at 44,474. So we're kind of, I may be in the upper 2/3 of this area here. Okay, we seem to be a little bit, how we say, a little bit extended away from our value ranges. Okay, ideally, to participate in this move to the upside, maybe using some of these levels that have been broken. All right, and maybe become supportive here around 44,690. Okay, this seems like maybe a natural area for maybe price to come back down to. All right, and then that would maybe serve as maybe an area that would also be kind of this logical anchored VWAP area that could offer us maybe a logical location for us to participate, and more importantly, to be able to manage our risk. Okay, so that's kind of let's see, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Dow. Okay, price has made it back inside value, which could lead to some maybe rangy kind of price action. Maybe it has enough to actually get to the other side of value and reach 44,826 as part of the session here. That's certainly not out of the question. So I'm going to be waiting like the other equities, and I'm going to be waiting to see what kind of initial balance range I get. Okay. And based on that initial balance, if I get a narrow initial balance range, that maybe will offer me something of an extension one way or the other. I think right now, based on where price is, we are above our anchor VWAP, we're above our daily VWAP, and we're above our 233-day EMA. and that is all indicating that maybe there's some more bullish opportunities in this market. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to take a quick peek to see if there's any questions in the chat. I don't see them. All right. So we'll just we'll close off this session again. Reminder, guys, that this is today is an abbreviated session today. Okay, so holiday kind of trading in mode. Okay, we most likely will not have the same market participants that will help us drive markets in any one direction. So we'd have to kind of factor that into the equation here. Okay, as you exit the building or as you exit the session here, guys, please don't hesitate or consider hitting the likes. Okay, hitting the like button as on your way out. Again, that's the lifeblood of content providers such as myself. Okay, hit likes. Don't be afraid to comment on the analysis. And if you want to be alerted of future sessions, yeah, please consider subscribing and potentially becoming a member. Okay, so those are also available to you as well. Okay, so with that, guys, we'll close off the session with as we close off every session: trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have an excellent trading day, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys.